Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be on Ace. Now the main tip that I wanted to give you guys today when it comes to Ace that I feel like I haven't really talked about in my other step-by-step videos for Ace is that when you're playing an operator like Ace, when you're playing an operator like Thermite, like Habana, like those type of operators, you need to stop thinking about it in terms of like just only getting a wall open. Does that make sense? So like the idea that I want you guys to understand is that instead of thinking about it in terms of like, oh, I need to play hard breacher because I need to get this wall open, I need to get this exterior wall open, I want you guys to start thinking of it as a means of getting to a specific position on the map to be able to win the round very freely, if that makes sense. So like for example on this map, the ideal place or the ideal space that I want to be taking to win the round would be for kitchen. Okay, now the way to get kitchen control is going to be to open up this lobby wall into kitchen to have a cross angle to make sure nobody can rotate in and out of kitchen. Okay, that's step one. Now step two is going to be to get people onto the site window, get people onto the hatch, and then we're going to have to look for like a hatch drop to kill the people that are actually in kitchen. Now if we can get control of kitchen, what's going to end up happening is the rest of the push is going to follow suit, because what's going to end up happening is once you're in kitchen, you pretty much just kill everybody, like vending staircase, vending, anybody that tries to like peek like defeat holes for vending soft wall, and then you also have like anybody who tries to run across gets covered by the breach, and even if they don't try to run across, you can also kill them from kitchen as well. Now, the one bottleneck that you're going to have when you're playing a hard breacher is that sometimes you're going to be in these positions where you know what the play is. However, sometimes if you don't have like a very specific operator, in this instance, the operator that we need the most to be able to win this round is Ying, okay? Because what's happening is Bandit is holding the drop, so what I need my teammate to do, my Ying, is I need my Ying to go ahead and Ying out to vending staircase, so that way I can drop the hatch without worrying about anybody actually shooting at me. So right here he Yings, I'm going to go ahead and drop the hatch, I'm going to kill a zombie on the window hop in, and then that basically allows my team to just jump into kitchen here, gives us control of kitchen, we start planting, I start killing people inside of kitchen, I start killing people over by vending staircase feet holes, and basically it's all GG's from there, because once we're in the position, it's pretty much just a free round from there, you know what I mean? It's very easy to figure out where people are going to come from once you're in these positions where you're just like completely winning. So right there, I get a nice little 4K on the entry off of my Ying, opening up the position for me, and then I use my ace charges to basically make that position that I'm playing in pretty much unwinnable. We also have the Osa in this position as well, so it also is unwinnable in that regard as well. Let me know if I explained that good enough in the comments down below, by the way, if that makes sense, like taking the whole like space instead of focusing purely on just getting walls open. Now next up we're going to be on top floor for Night Haven here. Now typically when I play this bomb site, I'm going to want to open up this connector wall with Ace and create a line of sight from this little balcony that I'm standing on right now all the way to electrical door. Now the idea that you do with this is that if anybody tries to swing electrical door, you pretty much will get yourself a very easy kill, or if anybody swings into connector regardless, you'll get a very easy kill. Now the problem here that we're going to be seeing is that we have a bandit and we have a tuber out. Now the problem here is that I'm not going to be able to actually get open this IT wall because they're going to be bandit and tuber out tricking this wall, so it's going to be very hard to actually push. So what I'm going to end up doing here is that the only way that I'm actually going to be able to open up this wall is if my Ash rotates over and Ash charges below for the wall for me here. However, what's going to end up happening is that she is not even going to be like remotely in the right place to help me out in this position, so I'm just going to go ahead and chalk it at this point. And one thing I am going to notice here in a second is that the enemy team does have a pulse. Now since they do have a pulse, we're going to want to actually go kill that pulse before we push in deep. I'm going to go ahead and try to open up pillar first here. I get body blocked while I'm knocked there. I thought I was going to die to the pulse in that position with the C4, but luckily we got away with it. But since in this position we know that pulse is downstairs, he just killed my Amaru, I'm just going to go ahead and rotate downstairs because none of my other teammates are really worrying about the pulse in this position, and we're going to try to look for him. Now typically pulse players like to play over by vending / games. You're going to see right here I catch him right next to the vending window to get myself a very easy kill. So that's where I would recommend looking whenever you do have a pulse playing under the bomb site. Now right here I'm going to go ahead and rotate up Aqua. The reason why I'm doing this is because I still have ace charges in my pocket here. I want to try to use them to open up the Aqua single wall, specifically this wall you're going to see here. And the reason why we do this is because once again, if I can open up these walls, it's going to make the position a lot easier to play because there's going to be no place to hide inside of command. Now, one thing that's important to note here, guys, is that I'm going to actually do a play here where I'm going to rotate away from Aqua here. Now, what I should have did when I walked down this hallway is that I should have shot the default cam and then rotated back. However, I didn't end up shooting the default cam, which is my one little blunder here. However, I am making a play here where I'm faking audio of myself going over to warehouse, and then I'm going to rotate back up Aqua here to try to see if anybody's in an off position for me to be able to walk in. So you're going to see right here, I'm going to go ahead and walk in. There's going to be a zombie that's going to be trying to contest me inside of Raptors here. He's going to end up trying to challenge me aggressively here on a crouch peek. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get the kill onto me, so I'm going to give myself a very easy kill onto him. And the last guy is contesting my Ash on pillar, so we're going to swing that aggressively to get ourselves a very easy kill, because we now sandwich that Doc into a position right there where my Ash has him, and then I also have him from the same like cross angle basically, or cross section, so we have a pincer on him. There's no escape for him in that position, so we just win around on the spot. Now next up, we're going to be over on Oregon here. Now typically I always start out the rounds on Oregon by going on this upside down rappel after claymoring off the runouts. It's probably not even a word, but whatever. And I like to get on the upside down rappel here. I go on a drone, I check master balcony, master door, master everything, trophy. We check all of that just so to make sure nobody is actually actively contesting. And if nobody's actively contesting, what we're going to do is going to go and open up the main wall here. And now ideally in these type of positions, you want to take control of main. I do luckily have I believe an Ash on top main in this position, so we're able to play the upside down rappel for breach here. It is a 3v4 position, so I'm kind of halfway expecting the enemy team to start ego challenging. However, there is a big problem in this position, is that if nobody ego challenges, it's actually going to be really hard to actually win from this position. However, what is going to end up happening is that there is going to be an enemy mute, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to go ahead and rotate into my closet here in a second. You're going to see right here, oh no, not a mute, Fenrir. Fenrir is going to rotate in my closet here, which is actually a big problem because I could force this gunfight right away. For context, based off of the audio that I was given, the Fenrir actually rotated back into the breach and he actually went prone on the breach right here. Once I ace charge, he essentially stands up and starts rotating over to Bolo next to the trophy doorway. Now, unfortunately, I did miss this. However, we are going to go ahead and get a free kill onto mute in this position. So, for context, the Goyle is unknown in this position, and the Fenrir is actually going to be on the trophy doorway inside of Bolo in this position. However, he's going to, once I hit that Fenrir trap inside a trophy, he's going to actually rotate from Bolo. You're going to see right here, I'm going to see him on Bolo, and he's going to actually end up rotating towards the main wall in this position. Right here, he was supposed to ego challenge me, however, he chose not to. He rotates to the couches in front of the breach here. I'm going to go ahead and get a kill onto him. Kind of caught me a little bit off guard, but we do end up getting the kill. And then the last guy, the Goyo, is going to actually be inside of attic in this position. Now you're going to see here, the reason why I'm able to assume that he's an attic is because of the fact that nobody is challenging me from white, okay? So that's the main reason why we know that he's inside of attic in this position. So right here we do a very typical fake plant. We're going to get him to swing. He's going to fall for the bait, and we're going to get ourselves a very easy kill. I highly recommend to start implementing fake plants. It's a very easy way for you to get your free kills. Now next up, we're going to be over on border. Now we're going to be attacking the top floor bomb site. Now typically with this bomb site, what I like to do is I like to push through east stairs at the beginning of the round. I'm going to want to take east stairs with my gridlock here. Typically I'll sit on my drone for this, because what's going to end up happening is that since I do have a gridlock, if I can make sure nobody's actively on east stairs, we're going to go ahead and gridlock off east stairs off rip. That's going to prevent people from walking up and down east stairs, as well as trying to go for some kind of flank play to make some kind of play in this position for the enemy team, which is going to give us automatic space, if that makes sense. And then right here, we're going to open up the office triple wall. Now the only reason why I'm allowed to do this in this position is because my Monty and one of my other teammates went over to break room side / security side right away, and they're clearing that out like immediately basically. However, I wouldn't open this up if I was not having a Monty and my other teammate going over into security. However, the enemy team is not playing these positions whatsoever, so what we're able to do in this position is we're able to just rotate over to the east window here. We're going to go ahead and open up the archives wall. We're going to try to make it a standing rotate for my Monty in this position, so that way we can go ahead and get some kind of plant down, because we went ahead and we mapped out the space for our team to take. All we got to do now is just take the space and actually make the play and make the plant happen. You're going to see right here, my Monty's going to go into the breach. He's going to end up getting the plant down. However, my teammates are going to start dropping like flies. You're going to see 2 of my teammates die. My Monty goes ahead and gets the plant down. I get 1 kill on the cover cross, and then there's going to be 2 guys trying to flank for east. And they do actually manage to get up east. However, it doesn't actually matter because we ended up getting a drone onto the last 2. Now, in this position, it's a 3v1 position. This is pretty much GG's from here. I'm going to end up trolling a little bit here, and I'm going to go ahead and just ego challenge and hip fire the last guy. Unfortunately, I am going to die, but we are going to go ahead and successfully get the refrag here and secure the round. But hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.